León Cathedral. Santa María de León Cathedral, also called the House of Light or the Pulchra Leonina, is situated in the city of León in northwestern Spain. It was built on the site of previous Roman baths of the 2nd century which, 800 years later, King Ordino II converted into a palace. The León Cathedral, dedicated to Santa María de la Regla, was declared of cultural interest in 1844. It is known as the Pulchra Leonina and is a masterpiece of the Gothic style dominating the mid-13th century, by master architect Enrique. By the late 16th century it was virtually completed. The main facade has 2 towers. The southern tower is known as the Clock Tower. The interior represents a combination of architecture, painting, sculpture, and other arts. The Renaissance retro choir contains alabaster sculptures and the choir was built by 3 great artists, Josquin, Copin of Holland and Juan de Molinas. Particularly noteworthy is the Plater-esque screen in the wall behind the sepulchre of King Ordino. It has 3 portals decorated with sculptures situated in the pointed arches between the 2 towers. The central section has a large rose window. Particularly outstanding is the image of the Virgin Blanca and the locus appellationi, where justice was imparted. The cathedral is also one of the 3 most important cathedrals on the Way of St. James. Along with the Burgos Cathedral and the cathedral in Santiago de Compostela, it is visited a lot and it is a holy worshipping place, and very sacred to the people of its city. It is one of the things that makes León so famous, and one of the main stops on the Camino. Previous constructions. The Roman Baths and the first cathedral. Originally, under the current location of the cathedral, the Legio VII Gemina had built the baths, with a size larger than the current building. During the great restorations of the 19th century its remains were discovered, and in 1997 others were explored near the south facade. During the Christian reconquest the ancient Roman baths were converted into a royal palace. King Ordino II, who had occupied the throne of León in 916, defeated the Arabs in the Battle of San Esteban de Gormaz in 917. As a sign of gratitude to God for victory, he gave up his palace to build the first cathedral. Under the episcopate of Frumenyo II, the building was transformed into a sacred place. The tomb of Ordino II of León, who died in 924, is found in the cathedral. The Roman Cathedral. With the help of Princess Teresa Urraca of Navarre, sister of the king, the construction of a second cathedral was started in line with the aspirations of Roman Christianity, and within its architecture. It fell within the Pelayo II episcopal see. Its style was essentially Roman, built in brick and masonry, with 3 naves finished in semicircular apses, the central one dedicated to Saint Mary, as in the previous church. The Third Cathedral. Construction of the Third Cathedral began around 1205, but construction problems with the foundation soon caused the work to be paralyzed, and the task not to resume until 1255 under the pontificate of Bishop Martin Fernandez with the support of King Alfonso X the Wise of Castile and León. This was an entirely new cathedral of Gothic style. The architect of the cathedral seems to have been the master Enrique, perhaps a native of France, who had previously worked on the Cathedral of Burgos. Clearly, he knew the Gothic architectural form of the Isle of France. The Cathedral of León, like its sister predecessor, Burgos Cathedral, is inspired by the layout of the Cathedral of Reims, which the master Enrique could have known well. Like most French cathedrals, the one of León is built with a geometric module based on the triangle, the primary lines of which relate to the square root of 3, and to which respond all of the parts and the whole. This aspect, as with the layout, the elevations, and the decorative and symbolic repertoires, makes this cathedral an authentic Transpyrenean building, removed from Hispanic fashion and belonging to the purist school of French Champagne. This has earned it the epithets of being the most French of Spanish cathedrals or the Pulchra Leonina, since its formal features are related to the Gothic style of Champagne. Its symbolic meanings and architectural design are closely linked with those of the cathedrals of Saint Denis, Notre Dame of Paris and Reims. Geographically, it is no stranger to that world, because although raised up in the old capital of the kings of Leon, the city was one of the most important milestones of the Camino de Santiago, also called the French Road. In addition to its layout, the Cathedral of Leon is also inspired by that of Reims in its structure, the form of the chapels of its ambulatory, and the development of its transept. The influence of Chartres Cathedral can be seen in the western porch. The one in Leon abandons the model of Reims Cathedral in the elevations beyond the body of the clerestory, as it is transparent there and it accommodates the technical progress achieved in the Sainte-Chapelle and Amiens Cathedral. French influence is also found in developing the chancel, where initially the choir was to be put according to their custom. As its most important feature, the Cathedral of Leon enjoys being the epitome in illumination of all cathedrals, with an immense array of windows, made possible by reducing the supporting stone structure to its utmost minimum. This achievement technically exceeds the French cathedrals.